This is the video. I apologize for it being so late. The video to create the graph using Excel based on those the ticker tape data points that you generated from your tapes today. I've taken the liberty of writing some values, getting some values from a previous tape. These are the values that presumably you would have gotten, or similar to that. It's not the same data. Depends on the way the ramp is set up. What I wanted to show was, okay, so first we can type in here. Here's the title of the axis. So this is going to be the position, because this is a position time graph, and the units that we have are centimeters. So there, that's good enough. And then I'll just widen this so it has it all in the same. The width holds all the characters. And then we need to put in the time base. So there's a quick way to do the time base, and I'll show you this. So the first thing you can do is in Excel. It's kind of cool in Excel. So I'm gonna have the first time point is 0, and then we have 0.1 seconds, and then this is where Excel comes in pretty handy. So I'll grab these two, and notice if I see when I change my cursor, when I bring my cursor down to this little corner piece here on Excel, and it's the version of Excel that you have. I happen to have 2010 here. It doesn't matter which version of Excel, it does the same thing. So what you do is you grab this with your mouse, click and hold it, and drag it down, and notice that the number keeps increasing because I've got a separation of 0.1. I had 0 and 0.1, and so every subsequent one will be increased by an increment of 0.1 seconds. So this one goes up to 1 second, and here's our data. So we've got the time, and we've got the position. Actually, I'm going to bring this over here, because these values here are the incremental values that you would have measured. So our starting position is 0. And again, I think I showed you this. What I'm going to say is I'm going to take the value, the value of this cell here will be the value of the cell above plus the value of the cell beside it. So the way I write this is I'm going to say that this equals, and then I just point to it. It'll be equal to this one plus this one. Click on there, hit enter, and then it'll add it. And then again, I can just click on here. The same sort of drag and fill. I drag this up, and the running total is kept. So one thing I can do if I want to do this, I could hide this if I wanted to. So so click on the column header at the top, B. Click on that to select the whole column. And if you right click here, just say hide, and it goes away, and then it doesn't get in our way. So now what I want to do is I want to make a graph. So what I need to do is I'm going to click up on the time value over here. I'm going to click and I'm going to drag. So I'm going to highlight all of this, and then I'm going to go over to the next column here. I can't drag over all of it because it's going to select even the stuff that's hidden. It's going to select that as well. But I'm going to hold down the Control key and click on position and drag down. So now that I've got these two columns selected, I'm going to go to the Insert menu. It should be the same, I think, even in older versions of Excel. If you go into the Insert menu and you're going to insert a graph. Now the type of graph that we're going to use is the scatter graph, or an XY graph. So we're going to select that. What you don't want the one with the dots or the lines or anything like that. You just want the one with the dots. We're going to insert the line, the trend line, when we do that, when we make the graph. So there's the graph. One thing that I do with this is I'm just going to change the location of this graph. I'm going to move the chart to a new sheet, and let's call it motion or ramp graph, because this is the motion of the cart down the ramp. So I hit OK, and that now becomes a new graph. So we won't have a legend here because we don't have any reason for a legend. We've only got the one graph. So let's just I'll right click it, and then I'll hit just delete, and that goes away. The title of the graph shouldn't be position. It should be the motion down a ramp. Whoops. Sorry about the typing. I'm typing with one hand and holding the microphone with the other. Down ramp. Okay. Now we want to have an axis over here. So we're going to right click this over here. Can't remember how to do this on, maybe if I'll format the axis. Okay, so we're going to, oh, I know. In this one, the way I go here is I'm going to go to the format or layout here. So the axis titles, again, this is in, you'd have to find this, I'm not sure, I can't remember how to do this in older versions of Excel anymore. But if I want to go to the vertical axis, I'll have this over here. I'll rotate the title, and then I'll just have it over in here, and I'll just call this what it is. This is our position. And this is in centimeters, right? This one here, that's the vertical axis. The horizontal axis, we're going to have it just below there, and I'm going to select this, and this is going to be our time axis, and the unit we use here is seconds. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so it's a bit, we can view it a little bit better. So I'm going to right click here. Let's increase this font size to 12. It's just a little bit more viewable. And we'll do the same thing for this. And so here, this is our position time graph. And the thing that you're going to add to this is you're going to add a trend line. So you're going to right click on any one of those points. Add a trend line. But the thing is, I want to sort of point out, unlike the other graphs that we did, see if we used a linear one, it barely resembles this data at all. It's clearly a curve. So what you're going to pick is a polynomial, because it looks well, it is actually, it's a parabola. So a polynomial with the order of 2. That means it's a parabola x squared. Ax squared plus bx plus c kind of thing, or y equals ax squared plus bx plus c, or however that standard form is. So this is an order 2 polynomial, and it is a squared value. So let's just, to see how close this resembles that parabola, we'll put the thing up. And so this one here, for what it's worth, I think actually it looks like this data is generated, because there's no way that r squared would be equal to 1 exactly in your data. So the fact that it's set at 1, I probably programmed this in to be a parabola. Let's just increase the size of this so we can see it a little bit better. And there's our graph. This is the one that you want to have for tomorrow, and you want to be able to bring this into class. And you want to be able to draw, maybe if you can, bring in a couple of copies of the same graph in case you make mistakes while you're drawing it. But we're going to be working on these tomorrow. I'll try to print off a few copies of other graphs that we can work on the skills as well.